Once upon a time, in the ancient plains of the Ashari kingdom, there lived a man named Kosi. He was the wealthiest man in the entire land. His home was not a house, it was a palace, carved from mountain stone, surrounded by a lake with swans, and guarded by statues of lions made of pure gold. Villagers said he bathed in milk, dined on roasted leopard meat, and had servants who sang lullabies to his shadow. But despite his wealth, Kosi had one deep obsession: women. He believed his greatness was measured not by cattle, not by gold, not by land, by how many wives he had. "I will marry 1,000 women," he declared one day. "No man shall match my power, no king shall rival my legacy." Part 1. The Rise of Nkosi's Desire. At first, it was 10 wives, then 20, then 50. He traveled from village to village, offering gifts of diamonds, silk, and spices to the families of beautiful daughters. Some women were eager for the luxurious life. Others were pressured or lured in with promises. Nkosi built separate mansions for his wives and hired storytellers to entertain them at night. But as the number grew, so did the problems. Jealousy brewed. Wives fought for his attention. Some plotted against others. One wife, Amina, cried every night. "I thought he loved me," she whispered into the night air, "but I am just one flower in 1,000 he cannot even name." Kosi did not care. "The more, the better," he laughed. "Let them fight for me, that is the price of being desired." Part 2. The Visit from the Old Woman. One day, as Nkosi prepared to wed his 800th wife, an old woman arrived at his palace. Her back was hunched. Her robe was torn. Her eyes shimmered like stars beneath the clouds. "Wise Kosi," she said, "I bring a gift of wisdom. But I offer it only if you answer this. How many hearts can one man love with truth?" Kosi burst into laughter. "Old woman, what nonsense! Love is for the weak. I collect wives like gold. That is power." The woman smiled softly. "Then may your heart learn what the eyes cannot see." She vanished. Some say she dissolved into mist. Others say she was the goddess of balance, disguised to test him. Part 3. The Curse Begins. The next day, Kosi's 800 and honest wife disappeared. No trace, no footprints. Her bed was empty. Then another, and another. Each night, one wife vanished silently, mysteriously, until 100 were gone. Panic swept through the palace. Kosi doubled the guards. He even suspected the wives of betrayal. He turned cruel. He accused innocent women. He stopped smiling. But the disappearances continued. By the 900th wife, Kosi started hearing voices. "You never saw our hearts. You wanted our beauty, not our souls. You never even learned our names." One night, he looked in the mirror and saw not his own face but the faces of every wife he'd abandoned emotionally. Some crying, some angry, some laughing bitterly. He shattered the mirror. Part 4. The Final Wife. When Kosi reached 999 wives, he searched the world for the final one, the 1,000th wife, to complete his so-called legacy. He found her in a distant village at the edge of the forest. Her name was Zala. She was different. She did not bow. She did not accept his gifts. She looked him in the eyes and said, "Why should I marry a man who does not understand love?" Kosi was stunned. No woman had ever refused him. "I offer you a kingdom," he said. "I prefer peace," she replied. Nkosi begged. For the first time in his life he tasted rejection, and something inside him cracked. He returned home, defeated, only to find all his wives were gone. Their mansions, empty, the music, silent, the lake, dry. Nkosi fell to his knees and wept, not because he missed their beauty, but because he finally realized he had never truly known a single one of them. Part 5. The Lesson. The old woman returned this time, as a radiant being with light pouring from her hands. "You had the chance to build a kingdom of love, not a gallery of possession," she said. Kosi bowed. "I was blind." She smiled. "Then open your eyes. and begin again. Kosi renounced his title and spent the rest of his days helping the families he once exploited. He built schools for women, planted trees in villages, and sat with elders to learn real wisdom. He never married again. But he was never alone because the people finally loved him, not feared him.